Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are an existing subscriber, if you are new, welcome as well. My name is Saray and I love sharing all things budgeting, planning, and goal setting and lifestyle. And in this video, I am setting up my budget for the month of May. And I recently moved into my A5 rings. And I recently also did a video walking through the reasons why I'm using A5 rings and the benefits that I find valuable right now in this stage of life. So I will go ahead and link that video here in case you want to take a look at it. I had been using the Erin Condren ring agenda, and I do have many of the Erin Condren inserts, and I ended up placing an order from Cloth and Paper, so I got this new ring agenda cover, and I am really obsessed with it. It has a beautiful color, and I also did an unboxing of this agenda, so I'll go ahead and link that here in case you're interested in seeing that. But that all to say is that I moved my Petite planner into my ring agenda. I also have another video showing you how I convert the Petite planners from Erin Condren into A5 inserts, because the sizing, while it's not 100% a true A5, it's very close. So if you're someone who's not bothered by a minimal size difference, then you can certainly convert those into A5 inserts. So I do have another video walking you through how I did that last year when I was in my ring agenda, and I love that concept. So I moved my Petite planner into my ring agenda because it's definitely working much better for me right now. And while it is a little bit of a hot mess right now, I'm going to be working into updating some of my inserts and all of those things. And because I'm more on my neutral phase right now, I did move the neutral Petite budget book, which I already had some inserts already prepared from before. So those are the ones that I'm going to be using. So this is for the month of May. Now we're a little bit into May right now, and I have to be honest, I have been completely slacking with my budget. I will do, right after the setup for my next budget, I'm actually going to do sort of like a budget reset, and I'll take you guys along through that. And to be honest, I've been struggling quite a bit mentally. Just work is not the funnest right now, and when I'm stressed, when I'm anxious, I certainly soothe myself with impulse purchases, and it's a struggle, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but certainly doesn't feel good. But I'm trying to also give myself some grace. So I did kind of go off the rails in the month of May. But I've also been doing some things a little bit differently this month that I'm hoping to carry through the next month. So just a little bit of an intro, and I'm sorry to bring down the party so early into the video, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little reason as to where I'm at in terms of budgeting. You know, we all mess up, but it's how we continue to move forward. So I will set, even though I feel, honestly, my tendency is to say, you know, screw this, I'm just gonna start fresh in June, but I still want to have my tracking because I think it is definitely helpful. I still kind of want to do the overview, and originally I had set up my monthly overview before the budget started. It's just that I never copy it to my planner. So enough rambling, let's go ahead and start setting up our budget for the month of May. I took out the pages from the ring agenda just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to start with, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm copying the stuff that I did set up earlier in the month before the budget has started, just to kind of set up my budget. So my one of my goals was to redesign the shop and update my listings, and I'm struggling with that as well because work, as I mentioned, is very challenging. So by the end of this month, I'm not sure how I'm going to be doing with this one. And you know what? I'm gonna this is why I love my erasable pens, and it's because I do change my mind very, very often. Okay, so I grabbed my Erin Condren stencil, and the reason why I grabbed it is so that I could create my rating star system. Since I don't have really stickers I'm gonna use for this budget, I still wanted to sort of create my same structure. Okay, so I added these stars, and then I added the goal that I had up here for the first one. So the second goal I had for this month was to do weekly check-ins. Clearly that's gonna go well. And the last goal that I had was to declutter. Okay, so those are my 3 goals for the month. Out of these 3, the one that did go very well was decluttering and minimizing. I actually ended up selling tons of sticker binders that I just knew I just don't have the time for it right now. And part of, I think, my not only stress and just anxiety, but you know, the depressive feels a lot of times for me is created by my environment. So I'm trying to kind of take a step back and simplify, because I know when I simplify my life, it's definitely a lot more it's just a lot less stressful. I don't feel as my depression, it does improve. So that is the goal. So I did do pretty good. I donated a bunch of stuff. I went through my closet through a first pass and got rid of a ton of stuff. So this one is definitely going well. So I'm continuing to focus on that momentum, and I'm already starting to feel better. The next section is this section over here that's titled Future Purchases, but I'm actually gonna just write down this month. And I will create some stickers or something, you know, I'll go back to, you know, my stickers to a certain degree. But for now, it's just that I need to get this done, and I don't have time. So I'll go back, but for now, this will work. And for this month is, we had a dumpster rental, which we got. And I think I talked about this during my May monthly setup video, which we get a dumpster every few years to kind of do a massive clean out of my grandparents and some of our stuff. Okay, so then this month is also my grandmother's birthday. 5-6. My dad's birthday. 5-15. And my father-in-law's birthday. and his birthday's on 5/9. And after that, we also have Memorial Day weekend, unofficial start of summer. And the EC launch already happened, but I'm still going to include it here. Because that's something definitely I'd spent money on. And I want to have it as a reference for next year so that I know what sort of expenses can I anticipate next year around the same time frame. So that's one thing about saving like your budgeting records, because then you can reference them the next year and say, okay, this is what I spend money on. Do I need to budget for these things this time around, or do I not need to budget for those? And I'm also including The Little Mermaid because I really want to go to the movies and see it. So the live action version of The Little Mermaid, look, I'm really excited about that one. For this next column is going to be sinking funds that are due this month. So I think I have 2. And even though water bill, technically I don't have a sinking fund envelope for the water bill, but it's not due every month. Our water bill is due quarterly. So it's due this month for Q2. And then I also have art list potentially. I think it's due this month, pretty sure. And this bottom part, I'm just kind of writing down, just remember. And basically what I'm including here is just the 2 paydays that I'm counting towards this budget this month. So that would be on payday 4/21. So this budget starts on 4/21, and then the next payday is 5/5. So it's like, it's a monthly budget, but it's like sort of like middle of the month budget. Okay, and then the next set of items here is the check-ins. So clearly I'm not gonna do well with my check-ins because I didn't do them on these dates. So the first check-in would have been on 4/28. The next check-in would have been on 5/5. So that would have been the mid check-in. Then the next check-in would be on 4/12, 5/12. And then the closeout of the budget, 5/19. So this is a routine I'm starting to build to have like my regular check-ins. Clearly that's not going well, but nonetheless, I still want to carry it to next month. So kind of building my routine around the money management of things. Okay, so this page is pretty much all set. So now we're gonna move on to our budget overview. Okay, so I have all of my items listed, so all of my income, all of my expenses. So I'm gonna go ahead and add up all of the expenses and include them here. Okay, so I've added everything up and it came up to be $73.05. So it's $1 off. It's a $5 off from the total income, but I'm not gonna split hairs. That's good enough. And zero, I'm gonna count zero as a difference, and then total savings. I kind of fill that out at the end. So basically this is my budget for May. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to highlight the different categories, the cash envelopes and the sinking funds, the high priority sinking funds, just so that I can see them. Even though I already have taken out my monthly cash envelopes amounts, I've already taken those out. I'm still going to go ahead and highlight them, because really that's the process that I would follow if I was setting it up when I had to set it up. Okay, so for my variable, like kind of like on the go, high priority, low priority sinking funds, that includes our groceries, dining out, or these are the cash envelopes that I take with me, essentially. Hair and nails, clothing, personal, household, entertainments, planning, gifts, technically miscellaneous too, but I don't have anything in that category, and then holidays. So when I'm planning on the denominations that I need, I can just reference these. And then for my high priority sinking funds, those are $12.50. So I've already taken out the funds for all of like my on the go sort of cash envelopes, but I have not taken out my high priority sinking funds. So I'm gonna go ahead and list out all the denominations that I need and get ready to go to the bank so I can make those withdrawals and add them to my cash envelope system for my high priority sinking funds. Okay, so this is my high priority sinking funds binder, where I have all of my denominations listed here, or all of, not the denominations, the categories. So I'm gonna go ahead and list them here, and then I'm going to, I usually list them in the back, but I'll just go ahead and use this sticky and just leave it there just to make it easier this time around. So I'm gonna have my car insurance, All right, so I wrote down all of the categories with the totals, and then I also have all of the denominations. So when I go to the bank, I know that I have to take out $1 and $10 bills, 12 20s, 6 50s, and 7 $100 bills for my high priority sinking funds. I did mention earlier that I was doing something a little bit differently with my spending summary, and this has really been where the eye opener was. So instead of kind of carrying a running total. So what I used to do is I used to kind of use this as a check register. So I'd have like how much balance I had in my account, and then I would have like a deductions every time that a bill came up. But I feel like I don't really need that, because what I'm mostly caring about is how much I'm actually spending in each category. So for example, as of 4/24, when, you know, kind of early on in the budget, I had spent under the personal category 426. Then I had another entry later on, and instead of, so what I did was I added with a 426 the balance under personal, and then with the next category of personal was 7467, I added it up. So then I know how much I have. So up until this point, I had spent about $500 in under the personal. Let's say, for instance, for groceries. So in groceries, I had spent $45.91. So my running total was $45.91. The next time I had a groceries expense was, not for a while, it seems. Oh, it was on 5/2. So I spent $141. So now I added 141 plus the $45 that I had spent, and then I have 186. So essentially with this method, I know up to the day exactly how much I've spent in all of my categories. So at the end of the month, I don't have to go ahead and start adding anything, because I already know how much I've spent in groceries or personal or whatever it is. So I really like the system. So I'm gonna carry this through the following month for June's budget, and, you know, continue to tweak it. And that's the beauty with the budgeting, is like every month you sort of learn something new, or you tweak something small that maybe makes a big difference. With this method, while it hasn't made a huge difference this month because of my personal funk that I'm going through, I think it's still very valuable going into next month. So again, I'm gonna do like a full budget reset, recenter myself, and, you know, start to focus on what is important. And sometimes when we lose sight of our why and why we're doing certain things, you know, we kind of veer off course, but we can certainly always get back on. All right, you guys, so that is my budget set up for the month of May. I'm gonna get ready to head to the bank so I can go ahead and grab my high priority sinking funds, and I may do a separate video with that stuffing separately. So we'll see, but that is the budget setup. Thank you so much again for joining me. If you're new, I'd really appreciate if you'd consider subscribing. If you are an existing subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you again for joining me for another video. And as always, friends, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.